We're going to do the idle mod on 2015 Honda Grom. So what you'll need is an idle cable from a CBR, F4i, RR, 954. Any of those would work. Should be the same for any year. The only thing that's going to matter is the threads on here. We will be cutting this down, and that's just to actually make it fit on the Grom. So first thing you're going to do,
pull that thing all the way off. So you have to turn it over.
first thing you're going to do is take the nut off of this cover here. It's above your, or that's covering your throttle cables up. That's 8mm. So we'll go ahead and take that off. You won't be putting this back on, so you can put it in your parts with your stock license plate bracket and all that crap. Now the next thing you're going to do, there's a little Allen head screw with a lock nut down here. We're going to take that out, and that's where we're going to screw the idle cable in and place at. Like I said, we still have to trim this up, so we'll get to that in a minute. So go ahead and take this out. I believe it's a 7mm nut, and then you can just unscrew the Allen screw by hand. And it kind of helps if you open the throttle up to take the tension off that screw. So this is what you're pulling out. It's just a little set screw with a lock nut on it. And that's where you get your adjustment to bump your idle up. You can set the idle up with just this screw, as long as you're running like the Finbro ECM. Some people said they've turned the idle up and not had a problem on a stock computer, but we couldn't get it to work. But anyway, if you're going to do the cable, it's going to slide up in there and screw in just like that. You'll have your spring and your washer. We're going to go ahead and cut this down and make it fit. I've already done this on another bike, so I kind of know about where to cut it. You need to cut this rubber back too, because that's going to hit on the nut for your throttle body, and it's going to cause problems. So I trim that back about 2 inches, roughly, 1.5 inches. About like that. It's just like a spring cable, kind of like a weed eater is. Alright, so we've got the cable here in the vise. I don't know if you can see those threads very well, but just past those threads is where we're going to cut. So we'll just use a little Dremel tool. Alright. So after you've trimmed that rubber back, you want to cut the end of this. This one was already cut in a previous video, but we're going to make it a little shorter. Just throw your spring back on there in that washer, and I just take just a hair above that washer. That's how much we're going to take off of there. Take your nut off your original idle screw or set screw and screw that down on there, because you're actually going to be cutting the threads. So after you back this nut back off, it'll clean your threads up. So we'll just say be on the top of the nut. So say about right there. So we'll go ahead and trim that off. Kind of clean your edge up a little bit. The file. Don't want to do a whole lot and damage those threads, but and take your 7mm wrench, back that nut off. So what you end up with short like that. And a lot of people tell you not to cut these threads. I'm fine with that, but if you do it this way, you'll have a lot more room down there at your throttle body. This line won't kink up as much. You probably wouldn't even have to cut this much rubber off the back. But it'd make it a lot easier for you, so I'd recommend doing it this way. And put your spring back on. And your washer. See, this one's actually a little short, but you put enough tension on it, you can get your threads up. So we'll go ahead and screw that on the bike now. See, that's just going to screw right in there. You have all that adjustment. But shortening that and cutting it on the threads gives you a lot more room back here. So once you put that nut in, you've actually got some room to work around it. So you can just kind of fold that out of your way. Drop your nut back down in there. Tighten everything back up.
But if you're going to get an intake, I'm not worry too much about it. Oh yeah, that's much better.
And just zip tie your cable out of your way somewhere. I did mine to the spark plug wire. Now, you're not actually going to tighten this, because if you do, then you won't be able to turn it. So it's just kind of just a loop, so it's there hanging out. You can slide it up wherever you want. Keep it out of the way. But that's where mine's at. So anyway, hope that helps you all out. Thanks for watching.